My role as a journalist has always been, like I was saying before, you are a vehicle between the audience and an artist. You're supposed to tell their story as honestly and as truthfully as and as engagingly as you can.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it than that. My belief has always been like, if you do that, you're gonna go a lot further in building an audience and building a community around you. And that's what we're trying to do with Filter. You know what I mean? Like, we came out with the Onefour story. A lot of people had no idea who the fuck Onefour were, you know, like, and we, you know, like, they had to trust us that we weren't going to go out there and be like, these guys are fucking, and hype it up and like, nah, which is happening a lot with Onefour right now, you know, even in the newspapers and stuff, you know, like we set out there to be like, hey, this is an artist who's making noise. Yeah. We've never heard anything like it in Australia. People need to know who these guys are. Yeah. That's the line of thought. You know what I mean? It's not like, how do I make this title crazy so people are going to click it? Yeah. You know, how do I... No. I'm not about it.
That Onefour situation is so fucked as well right now.
Yeah. I mean, props to Onefour. You know, that... Again, to get people to take hip-hop from this country seriously, and especially people who are still using that Oz hip-hop thing in a negative way or whatever, like, they're probably going to be the ones to do it, you know, like, at least in my time, I've never seen anything really like it or as hyped as it. So yeah, like, hopefully, you know, the legality situation doesn't get in the way of what they're trying to do, and, you know, props to Onefour. They're
so sick.
Yeah, they're doing crazy.
And like, I've only had dipped my toes into this like scene for like the past 6 months or so. So I was going to ask, like, is this the most excited you've seen the Australian public about a hip hop act, do you think, in terms of just widespread, like,
Onefour?
Everyone knows, Onefour.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing about Onefour is that, like, why they're so attractive is that, like, well, one, drill music hasn't really been done in this country, at least on a huge scale. I mean, Australia's always had, not always, but for a long time we've had grime, you know, like I was talking about those guys before, Fracture, Smash Brothers, Alex Jones and stuff like that. So we used to, like, you know, we're used to UK stuff, you know what I mean? And especially since the grime explosion a couple of years ago, like Stormzy and Skepta and all that shit. People are used to grime now, but drill, I think, is like, it's related, but it's also like, it's just so brazen that it's just like, even if you don't like the music, you just have to watch a Onefour video and be like, what the fuck is this? You know, there's 100 cunts in like balaclava wearing all black Under Armour outfits. And it's just like, even if you don't like the music, it's kind of like, so wow, sick. Like it's just so like in your face, and it's just like impossible to ignore, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like that's the reason why people are getting so like hyped up about it. And the other thing that Onefour are really good at is they're really good at delivering instantly quotable, like, lines. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
They're good songs. The songs are great. Like,
yeah, well, the thing that, not only are the songs good, they're not hook reliant to me. Like, the message didn't have a hook, but there were moments in that song, you know, that peaked harder than a hook, you know, like, you know, the retaliation is a must, you know, like, that, like, the line about Chingy, you know, like, just, the lines were memorable and they were instantly quotable. And I think those dudes obviously have a rep outside of music, so it's like, it just feels like, you know, genuine, and it feels like it's just like so crazy.
Yeah, so sick. Like my friends won't listen. Like, I have friends that don't listen to any hip hop. Yeah, and they'll come up to me because like apparently I have some say or whatever. I'm like, what's going on with Onefour? It's like, bro, I don't know. But the fact that they know what Onefour is, and the two to have Onefour, and just like how culturally, like how just splitting it in half is so sick, and I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, people can't. You can't really ignore it. It's just so like, you know, and their videos. It's like, it's not like, you know, like there's a narrative to the video. No, it's just like
just chaos.
50 dudes like on motorbikes and balaclava. It's like, that's just cool to look at. Yeah. You know what I mean? And HP Boys, like, shout out to HP Boys. You know, like in Melbourne too, like all that shit. So. Yeah, funny thing you mentioned Batuta though. Like Batuta, kind of big like gutter rap fans, and underground hip hop fans as well. Like we've been in Batuta a couple of times, and like so is Enter and stuff like that. And obviously Cursor was on the Batuta podcast as well.
Yeah.
So Batuta, even though it's like a satirical thing, like shout out to them for like supporting the local hip hop scene where they can.
I feel like people underestimate how impactful Batuta is in terms of like what a media outlet is. They're probably the biggest, like even though they're satire, they're the biggest.
No, they are
media outlet for youth in Sydney.
Well, also like, it's like people underestimate humor as a vehicle to kind of get a message through to people, which is what I think Batuta does really well. You shouldn't, like, especially Australians, we love to take the piss out of ourselves or whatever, and humor is such like a big thing in like just banter, whatever. Like, so I feel like people definitely underestimate Batuta and how much it actually makes you think. Yeah, they're smart dudes. They know what they're doing.
And it's like some